Hey guys, dodatech here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a $1,000 gaming PC for the month of February. And to start off, we're going to be using the Intel i5 3570K. Now, I absolutely love this CPU. It's got all the features you need, for instance, dual channel memory and onboard graphics and all the power you really want and more. And its stock, it's going to come at 3.5 gigahertz, but you can easily overclock it in this build to well over 4 gigahertz. And it's a great CPU for about $230. For our cooler, we're going to be using a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. Now, the predecessor to this was the 212 Plus, and you can still get that. It's a little bit cheaper, but we've gone with the 212 Evo because it's got a slightly tweaked fan for better airflow and optimized cooling, and it's also really good price for $35, and it's going to give us all the cooling we need for all the overclocking we want to do. For our motherboard, we're going to be using the Asus P8 Z77-V. Now this is a beast of a motherboard. It has dual channel memory, PCI 3, SATA 3, as well as USB 3. Has the LGA 1155 socket, and as you can see on the back, it's got USB 2, SATA, optical audio, some video connections, and Ethernet, USB 3, and 7.1 audio. And it's got the Z77 chipset, and for $155, how can you go wrong? For our memory, we're going to be using 8 gigabytes of Crucial Ballistic Sport, and that says crucial right there. I don't know why. So at stock, this is going to be 1333 megahertz, but you can easily overclock it to 1866 or even higher. And as you can see, it's got a pretty beast heatsink on there, and it's going to be great for about $50. For an SSD, we're going to be using a Munchkin Enhanced Catalyst 100 gigabyte SATA 3 SSD. Now, SSDs are great. I use one in my own build, and really, 100 gigs is not really that much, but all you've got to do is put your operating system and some core files, maybe some games you play a lot, or an editing software, or something like that. And for 100 gigs, you have to pay $120, but it's a gaming build. We have to go with an SSD. For storage, we've got the Seagate Barracuda 500 gigabyte hard drive at 7200 RPM. Now, 500 gigs, in my opinion, is enough. I'm in my build at the moment. I've got a 120 gig SSD. I'm using that for my operating system and stuff like that. And I've got a 500 gig hard drive. Now, I'm only using about 100 gigs of that hard drive, and I've had this computer for over a year now. So 500 gigs is enough, and at only $60, it's great. You can also up this to a 1 or even 2 terabyte drive if you wanted to, but we've gone with a 500 gig for this, so yeah. For our graphics card, and this is basically a beast of a graphics card, is the EVGA GTX 660 Ti with 2 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory. They're really beast cooler. It's also got 2 DVI connections and HDMI as well as DisplayPort. It's also PCI Express 3.0, and it's only $220, so yeah, I love this graphics card and I would highly recommend it. For our power supply, we're going with the Cooler Master Extreme Power Plus 600 watt power supply. This is a non-modular power supply. It's got all the connectors you need, and it's really cheap at $55. You can also go with a modular power supply, but that's going to cost a little bit more for this wattage, and I just really don't think it's worth it because you can just route those cables somewhere where you're not going to see them. For our case, we're using Cooler Master Half 912. Now, I absolutely love this case. It's got all the features you need, like great airflow. It's a full ATX case, so it will support our motherboard as well as our graphics cards. It's got four 5.25-inch bays as well as a 3.5-inch adapter. It's also got lots of hard drive bays and a full-size ACX power supply mount. So yeah, that's great. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my other videos on my dodatech channel. Thanks so much for watching.